Team will have that offense backed up. And the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive in games like this, guys, and it's crucial to get your emotions under control.
No doubt. In rivalry games, you've got to limit the mental errors, and you've got to limit the penalties because those will kill you, Paulie.
And you got to come out under control. It means so much. We know that. The fans are all talking about it, but it's just football.
The hand to the running back. Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24. There's no getting around the fact that they have really scuffled in the first half of SEC play, and now the task is to try to turn it around.
Well, and a lot of times it requires shifting your goals, and this is not how you want it to start, but how can we win this week and take advantage of every opportunity we get, Jesse? So it hasn't been ideal, but there's still some talent, and you can still salvage some wins on the schedule.
Yeah, it's all about finishing the season strong, right? I think this team believes that in this last week, they were able to sort of reset their focus on doing exactly that. They believe they have the horses in the locker room to win games like this. This could be the momentum shift they need.
A huge return there, steps out of bounds, but man, did he put his team in great position. So the Georgia Bulldogs offense will take the field for the first. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys.
Don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
Tackled, but he has a first down.
This offense has a lot of different ways they can attack you, and you're going to see the entire playbook at work in this game. Throwing it, running it, and getting guys the ball out on the perimeter. Great job.
And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Georgia!
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a...
He's off to the races. He's at the 40. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. Exploded for a huge chunk of yards on that last one. They'll try to do it again here, 1st and 10 from the 33. The give to the tailback. They get him stopped after a pickup of 5 to the 28.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
They'll run play action. Finds his tight end. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
Motion trying to get the defense to show his hand. He's got it and still on his feet. Touchdown Gamecocks. Made the snag and strolled his way into the end zone.
And what did I start for this offense? The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Kentucky opened up a can, and how many times can you say you went into someone else's house and beat them by double digits? It's what happened today, and the rest of college football should take notice. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams, but boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. After that last completion, it's second down. He's looking to throw. Using his legs to buy some time. Quarterback all over the place trying to make a play, but eventually he goes down.
And that is an all-too-familiar sight. Listen, this team won last week, but they gave up 4 sacks. They got to protect this young man early in this game. Don't set the tone, and let's not go back to last week.
They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 25. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down. The Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10. He wants to throw. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
When you're on defense and you get to play outside linebacker, it's about as good as it gets, right? I get to rush the passer just like this and put him on the ground. Then I get to cover in space. I get to move all over the place. Great job by the outside linebacker. The most fun position to play in college football.
And he feels the heat coming in and burns him up. Another sack.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally now you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
When you play zone and you drop back, you're dropping back to a spot. And that means there's going to be holes, and the quarterback has to do a good job of reading it, seeing it, throwing it between those holes. He does a really nice job there. Makes the defense pay for playing zone coverage.
Good timing on the quick out. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. We played one, and we are right back where we started, all tied up after the first period as we take a look at the stats. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see who gets the edge early in the second. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol. The play action fake. He'll get rid of it. Complete to the right. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
That is a really good-looking throw. You think about the expectation level now for quarterbacks at Georgia. Matthew Stafford was the #1 pick overall. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships. Imagine the pressure on this guy. But when you see throws like that,
Touchdown, Dogs! And once he got loose, it was all over. Well, they started with horrible field position, but ended with perfect field position in the middle of the end zone.
it all comes down to execution, Reese. You've got to have guys going out and doing their jobs. You saw the offensive line up front. They were physical. Skill players made it happen with the ball in their hands, and the quarterback really showed command on that last drive.
And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put it on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
As a tight end, if you're going to be good in the passing game, you've got to be able to feel the windows when defenses play zone coverage. And he did a really good job of that right there. He didn't rush. He didn't hurry. He took his time, found the soft spot, and gave his quarterback an easy place to throw.
And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
And he was virtually unblockable on that play. You know, it reminds me of seeing the highlights of my partner here, David Pollock, a guy that doesn't like to talk about his own greatness, so I'll do it for him. David raised the bar in the standard for D-line play at the University of Georgia. It was his athleticism. It was his tenacity. He wasn't just getting sacks and tackles for losses. He was picking off passes and taking them to the house. He was like the honey badger before the honey badger, but playing D-line. All time.
Bringing it back, it's Casey. Makes a move. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. Offense set on first down. Handoff from the shotgun. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding the ball so he can break some of those big runs. But I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior. They have had to wear that beat down since the last time these two met, Jesse.
They've been talking about it for a long time. They were absolutely embarrassed. The players, the coaches, the fans. You know, David, coming into this game this time, they want to put out a much better performance.
Oh, there's nothing worse. The coaches are riding you all week leading up into this game, reminding you, showing the clips in the locker room. You know you failed. You want to come out and get a great start in this football game early.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Fires to the big fella. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs. And that can really take the wind out of a defense's sails when you convert with a 4th down completion.
Great chemistry there between the quarterback and his target. 4th down, you got to have it. You got to be on the same page, and they were there.
It's complete to the right. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. These guys have really performed at a high level in SEC play, and the task is to try to keep this groove going.
Yeah, when you start the season like this, man, this is exactly what you drew up. Win your conference, be great in your conference, get to the conference championship. I'm not putting the cart before the horse, Palmer, but great start.
No doubt. To win the SEC is a long road. You know about that. I know about that personally, and they just got to take one game at a time. They've done an outstanding job of doing that this year.
Now on the option. He'll pitch it. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the 1st down. Already in chip shot field goal range at the 21, but this 3rd and short, they're still thinking touchdown. Fires left, and they can't complete the bullet pass on 3rd down.
3rd and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. He'll take a shot. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Working that left side. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down. He's going to pass. And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
Man, when you go over the middle, take the punishment. You're going to get hit a lot of times anyways, so you might as well catch the football. But his arm's starting to look a little bit like Reese Davis when the check comes at dinner.
The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. IndyCar tempo as they head to the line for this third down play. Clock running. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Looking for a block. It's Casey. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Ready to fire from the pistol. Going up top on first down. Blasted as he lets it go. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Now on second down after the incompletion. He's looking to throw. Trying to get to it. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
Gonna let it fly. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. Looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth down.
On fourth down, they'll pass for it. And the fourth down pass falls incomplete, and they'll have to give up the football. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Getting late here in the first half, they'll have a chance to make this a one-possession game.
And the offensive play caller here has to really be dialed in. It's important, down 2 possessions, Dave, that they're able to score some points. So you got to call your best stuff in this 2-minute situation.
And such a good opportunity to cut it to a one-score game, create that momentum, get some good juices going for the second half, because obviously, you know, you built yourself a little bit of a deficit. You need to.
The quarterback bought as much time as he could, but the defense got to him and sacked him. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a third and long, this one from the 44. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. The defense calls the timeout, and that's their last one of the half. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. First down here for the offense. Looking to move it through the air. Gets it out fast. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain. They'll line up for a second down play. I like this, taking the safe play, getting the positive gain, and seeing if you can build some momentum.
Well, and I think it's making the right play, Reese. That's when quarterbacks get in trouble sometimes when they get too aggressive and then they get behind the sticks a little bit. I see a lot of space, take advantage of it, get it to my running back, let him chew that up, and now it's easier on the next down.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. From the gun on third down. He'll take another shot here. Catch inside the 30 and still running. Touchdown, Georgia! And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call. They are seizing control and taking away hope as they push out the lead in this Week 8 showdown.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And with time running out here in the first half, this offense will choose to take a knee. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Fellas, what an environment there today. All the animosity and flat-out hatred that comes with a good old-fashioned rivalry game on display in that first half. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this elite wide receiver. This is clearly a young man who, once he's finished playing on Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for finding gaps in the defense. And I can't remember a college player with that kind of catch radius. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
All right, Kevin about ready to get things cranked back up here. And the Gamecocks will kick it off to start the second half. On the move from inside his 5. He's able to sneak his way across the 20 and steps out at the 21. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. On the option. Now the pitch. Got room at the 35. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds.
I bet that running back's eyes got so big when he gets that handoff going to the right and he sees the huge holes. Yes, please.
The defense just didn't flow quickly enough. All of the blockers had leverage on their men. Oh, look out, there he goes. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
How nice is it in an offense where you can generate explosive plays by running the football? You got to force feed this guy, man. He is an absolute game changer.
He'll pull it on the read. He's all the way down to the 3. An electric run has him set up.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch. As you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
It's now second and goal.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. On the option. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Huge play in the red zone. 3rd and goal coming up. They want to throw it. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. And the senior just snatched the ball out of the air and gave it back to his offense. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Snags it quickly on the left. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 from their own 10. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. Got it in the middle, it's Hendricks. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. Fresh set of downs after the completion. He'll come out throwing on first down. He makes the connection. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
At the 35-yard line, brings up second down.
He leaves it with the back. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
They'll run for it on 3rd and short. The Gamecocks get enough to move the chains.
You got to wonder if that's a moral victory for this offensive line because they have not been running the ball well at all game long. But on that short yardage situation, they finally pick it up, and maybe that's going to be the catalyst for them to get this thing going and spark the run game.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. We talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counter punch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
They've already punted 4 times in this game, and they're about to run the guy out there for a 5th time if they don't pick up the first down here. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Cover guys do their job, and they get him stopped at the 22-yard line. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did on the first part of that drive that made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
They'll ride the hot hand. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. He wants to go deep. Grabs it inside the 10. Can White cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. Well, guys, it's Georgia holding the lead at the end of the quarter. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. Takes the easy throw in the flat. Touchdown, Dogs! And the route is on. They're on the board again, and it looks as if this winning streak is going to continue. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time. Picked off. Touchdown, Bulldogs! The defense puts 6 on the board with a big-time interception return. They extend this 4th quarter lead, and now they are staring at a 7-game winning streak.
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. On first down, here comes this offense. He's looking to throw it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hendricks. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards. Starting this drive like that is exactly what they'd hoped for. Now 1st and 10 from the 40. He wants to throw. Fires to the wideout. It's caught. And they exploited that soft spot, and they get it down to the 35. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another first down.
Good enough for a first down.
Use the play fake, now to throw. With the catch, it's Gage. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. Second and short now after that completion.
At the 27. Second down coming up.
Looking to throw it again. Fires into traffic, it's picked off. Trying to take it back. The 20. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown, Georgia. They are finishing the deal, building the lead here in the fourth, and they are going to go to 7-0. Just one moment, and all of a sudden, the fortunes turn.
You're in the position where you're about to give up points, and now you flip that around and you put points on the board. Perfectly executed. What do you do in an interception? First guy blocks the intended receiver. Everybody else starts to form a wall where the ball's going. Nice blocking, nice interception, nice return for the touchdown.
South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
Trying play action. He looks that one in nicely. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Listen, that's not going to go down as a big play, but he does a really good job turning a negative play into something positive. It's not a big gain, but it keeps you out of those negative situations that really makes you very predictable.
He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
Love the play by the wide receiver because he didn't get lazy. He adjusted his route accordingly, so the depth got past the first down marker. Now he's helping out his offense keep the game up.
Gets open down the middle.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
And here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw. Got his man. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs.
First down for the offense.
Trying to find his man on first down. And he makes the grab, but the officials immediately signal that he's out of bounds.
At this point in the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. Finds his big tight end. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
The Gamecocks have taken it inside the 20. Shotgun snap on third down. Fires to the tight end. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. And the holder will put it down on the left hash, a 34-yard attempt coming. Absolutely perfect. I wouldn't say they cut into the deficit. They sort of microscopically edged off the deficit. Still a mountain to climb. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. Line gets set, first down. It falls incomplete. How about the trickeration on first down that just goes awry? Second down coming up. Now the play fake. And he gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line.
I think if you're the head coach here, it's a bit of a mixed reaction to your passing attack so far in this game. You've put up a bunch of yards throwing the football. You've lit up the scoreboard, but you've also given up 4 sacks. Pass protection has been a problem so far in this game.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Complete to the left. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
And this defense continuing to struggle with the passing game. Listen, these offenses are so sophisticated nowadays. They're hard to stop, man. And it's a new one every single week. And I say this game, this defense underperformed. They're better than what they've shown. They've gotten torched today. And this is a tape that they're going to want to burn and never watch again.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the... The ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
So it's 1st and 10 after that costly defensive penalty on 4th down. He's going to pass. Throws to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
He's got his man. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. And he just continues to put up numbers, and that number is now over 300.
This guy just throws completions, man. The ball doesn't seem to touch the ground. He's back there. He's making the right reads. Right now, he is locked into what this defense is trying to do.
He wants to throw it again. Makes the grab. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. And the Bulldogs will hustle to the line.
It's another first down for the offense.
Off-play action on first down. Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs! And the punishment has been extended. They give themselves just a little more cushion as they close in on extending this winning run.
And how about this squad, man? Looking good again. I feel like we say this week in and week out. Just continuing to remain undefeated. Whatever it takes, offense, defense, special teams, they have been a good unit, and that's why their ranking is so high.
And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. This has been an old-fashioned fanny paddling, David. I mean, they've just got taken behind the woodshed.
There's nothing to say. This has been an absolute beat.
And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. 4th quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
Great spot to start this drive for the offense. Here comes the option. Now the pitch. Open space at the 25. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
Yeah, and obviously this offense has had their way getting the huge lead, and now when you know it's a running situation later in the ball games, you're still getting pounded. This defense has to step up at some point and be a lot more physical.
D coordinators down the road that have to play this offense, man, they're going to have nightmares because this unit has so much speed, so much skill. At running back, receiver, tight end, the quarterback making good decisions. It is so tough trying to stop them and prevent explosive plays.
He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. Offense calls a timeout here, critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. This defense didn't hang its head. They've stood tall after the big play, 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Bulldogs! And the stomping has commenced. They extend this 4th quarter lead, and now they are staring at a 7-game winning streak.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And it was closed out by the short yardage touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David, but I'll say this. If you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, that you're talking about.
And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. Wants to throw on 1st down. Looking to the big tight end. Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? They make the stop, but that's going to do it here as time has expired, and that'll just serve to pass